Hello everybody! So today I'm making a video. It's probably a pretty long video. And I finally got some natural lighting and all these lights. I like it. So today I'm reviewing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And I recently just started watching this anime and I'm almost done. So yeah. Okay, so yes, you heard me right. I'm reviewing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and by the time I'm recording this, I'm still watching Golden Wind. So I've only watched 3 episodes of part 1, none of part 2, all of part 3, and all of part 4, and I'm almost done with part 5. And I actually plan on watching part 2, so yeah. So this is how this is gonna go down. So I'm gonna make like segments. I hope. Future David. The world. No, I can't add segments. What do you think I am, a freaking professional editor? Zero. By reviewing the entire part, and then the characters and stands from that part, and I'll do that from all the parts that I watched. Yeah. Okay, so starting with part 1, I've only watched 3 episodes of part 1. Well, no, I actually watched 4. I actually watched 4 episodes of part 1, and I kind of got bored of it, so I just stopped watching JoJo's for a while, and then I got back on it, and I watched part 3. So for the 4 episodes, I'm mainly just going to be talking about 3, because I barely remember the 4th one. So it was the first one. I kind of liked it how it showed when Jonathan and Dio were kids, and that kind of started my liking for Dio. Yeah. And then the second episode is where, like, I think it's the one where, like, Dio is, like, getting along with Jonathan, and then he starts to poison the Mr. Joestar. Mr. Joestar! And that episode is also pretty good. Pretty nice. And, yeah, rest in peace, Danny. And then, for the 3rd episode, I kind of like how we got to see how Dio turned into a vampire, even though that this is basically how it started out. But yeah, so like he put on the mask and it was cool. Yeah. And that and then for part 1, I liked it. It's okay. It's cool. So for part 1, out of 1 out of 1 out of 5 stars, I'll give it a 3 star. Now going on to part 3. Part 3 is the first one with stands, and stands are pretty cool. And part 3, it was one of my favorite parts. Part 4 being my most favorite. Part 3, I really liked the characters, and it had some pretty sad deaths for the characters. Oh yeah, and also, I forgot to say, if you haven't watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, don't watch this video, because you get spoilers, like your life depends on it. So, yeah. Part 3 is really good, and now let's go on to the characters. First one, let's do Jotaro. Jotaro, he's cool. And he's the main character of Star Wars Crusaders. And I forgot what I was going to say. So then also his stand, Star Platinum, which is kind of one of my favorite stands, even though I like Star Platinum the world better. But yeah, Star Platinum is a very cool stand. I like how they had like tarot cards, because it's really cool, and I'm thinking of buying a pack of some, but like the JoJo's version, not the real version. And yeah, So that's Jotaro in Star Platinum. Very cool, very good. Now let's move on to Old Man Joseph. So he has Hermit Purple, which didn't really do much besides the reading cameras and pictures with a stand, and also could pull a Spider-Man and like just the, the webs on the buildings and stuff. But it's cool, and like he has like I don't really know how to say this, so I'm just gonna say Hamon. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. So if I'm wrong, please do not bully me in the comments. But yeah, and yeah, and then Old Man Joseph, he's actually one of the he's pretty funny, and it's just really cool how I haven't really watched part 2, but I know some of the stuff that happens, and it's really cool how like he in one of the episodes against the Empress, I think. Yeah. It was the Empress where he said like your next line is gonna be this, and I thought that was really cool because he used to do that in his younger days, and I thought that was really cool. And one of his moments with Avdol, when they were trying to get unstuck from each other when they both turned into magnets, I thought that was really funny, and that was actually it was good. So yeah, now we're gonna move on to Avdol, because I don't know, we just are. Okay, so with Avdol, he's a really cool character. His stand, Magician's Red, is pretty cool. And yeah, it's like a firebird. Basically, Rodan was a stand. It would be Magician's Red. But yeah. And then Avdol, like, he died so many times. Really, only twice, basically. He got knocked unconscious once. And then he actually died the second time. And I was actually pretty sad when I saw him die and I didn't see him for a couple episodes. And I kind of wish that he was back. And sure enough, he wasn't dead. He was basically just unconscious for a while. And I was so happy. But then when he actually died, I got sad again. And then, yeah, I really like, yeah, Avril is a cool character. And, yeah. Now let's move on with Polnareff. I'm just gonna say Polnareff. That's probably right, but I don't know. I have a bad history of saying Polnareff. So he is actually one of my favorite characters in the Stardust Crusaders crew. I'm back. Sorry for that. I had to go do something, but I'm back now. And also, if my voice sounds weird, that's because I'm recording in my bathroom because reasons. Yeah. So I think I was in the middle talking about Polnareff, and Polnareff, he's a really funny character. I think probably one of my favorites in the Stardust Crusaders crew. And his hair is amazing. Probably shouldn't say anything bad about his hair, or else Josuke might come and arrest me. But yeah, then his stand, Silver Chariot, it's very cool. Yeah. And it can shoot like the sword part of the sword out of it handle, and I thought that was cool. And also, you have to take off his armor, and then it's a little way lighter and moves faster. And I thought that was cool, and it can make shadow clones of itself. And so, yeah, Polnareff is very cool with his stand silver chariot, and yeah, Polnareff is cool. Okay, now we're moving on to Kakyoin. And Kakyoin, he is a very cool character, and yeah. So Kakyoin, he's in high school like Jotaro, and when I first saw him to his introduction, I didn't really know that he was gonna like join the crew, and honestly, Kakyoin is really cool, and also it's kind of very much of the cool when he licks his cherries. And his stand, I don't know how to say its name. I used to say Hierophant, but that's not right. So I think it's Hierophant. Please don't abuse me in the comments if I'm wrong. But I'm just call it Hierophant Green. So Hierophant Green is a very cool stand. Its ability to like go inside people and control them like puppets, it was only used in his introduction and never really used again ever. And I thought that would be really cool if they did use it again, but they didn't. And another one of his moves, Emerald Splash. It's a very, very nice attack, and it's also impossible to dodge.
There's no way. No one can just deflect the Emerald Splash.
Yeah, and then yeah, and yeah. So Kakyoin and Hierophant Green, they're very cool. Yes, they're they're cool character and cool stand. And now we move on to Iggy. Iggy was very, 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 very cool. And it's just sad how he died. Freaking Vanilla Ice, I think his name is. Yeah. It's either Cool Ice or Vanilla Ice, I don't really know. But yeah. Yeah, he absolutely abused Iggy, and I was very sad about that moment. And he also cut off Polnareff's toes, so now he's toeless. But yeah, Iggy, he is very cool. I like how he jumps on people's faces and then farts in their face. You know, very, very high quality. And then he also, yeah, and the one episode about him, when he started speaking, well, like actually speaking, and the first one he was thinking, and heard him talk, that was very cool, and I was surprised. And then when he started actually talking, I was even more surprised, and that was just awesome. It was freaking awesome. And his stand, the Fool, it's also like, yeah, his stand is also cool. The Fool, it's like a giant dog bird thing. Yeah, and like it basically is sand, and like they used Iggy's stand, Iggy and Polnareff, they used Iggy's stand to like confuse Vanilla Ice or Cool Ice, the freaking guy, that he was Dio, but it kind of backfired. But still, yes, Iggy and the Fool, very cool. Very sad Iggy's death, but
He's still alive!
yeah. And now, last but not least, we have the main villain for the entire part, Dio. Yes, Dio Brando. His 100 plus old, but yeah. He is very cool. Honestly, one of my favorite JoJo villains. And he's just so cool. And like he's a vampire too. So he's basically immortal until he goes out in the sun. When he goes out in the sun, then he's done. He's dead. But yeah, Dio, he's cool. And I think he's like the only person. Sorry, that was a male, but I think he's like the only person in anime that I've seen with actual fingernails. Funny, so funny. And with Dio and his awakening version, where he turned into that when he sucked out like the life of old man Joseph. And yeah, he just put freaking lipstick on, just green lipstick. Got a trim on the sides and kept the hair on top. Oh, that was funny. And he took off his freaking and he took off his freaking yellow jacket, and it was very cool. And now to his stand, the world, the time-stopping stand. Not Star Platinum, the world, you dumb bum, freaking the world, okay? Like, wow, okay, so the world is a very cool stand. Basically the same thing as Star Platinum. Stop time longer than Star Platinum, the world. And I kind of find it dumb how freaking like Jotaro didn't know how to use time stop until he met Dio. And I thought that was kind of dumb. But yo, freaking with the world, he like when he died, he could only stop time for 9 seconds. But if he lived longer, then he could have stopped time like forever. But yeah, so that's the world and Dio. Very cool stands and characters and villains. Yeah, and overall, in Stardust Crusaders, I would give it a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 is because I don't know. I kind of thought it was like a little bit long, but that's fine. It's fine. Okay, now on to part 4. Diamond is Unbreakable. This video is already freaking 17 minutes long, but hey, it's fine. Maybe we'll make it to 30. Okay, so Diamond is Unbreakable. I'm gonna make this kind of faster than the last ones. Cause yeah, I kind of want to get done and like relax, you know? Okay, yeah. So we can Diamond is Unbreakable. Let's start with Josuke. Josuke, he is a very cool character, very cool. And I was surprised to freaking hear that he was Jotaro's uncle. And yeah. So, and then like also if you insult his hair, he will absolutely destroy you no matter what you do. There's no hiding from him when you insult his hair. Absolutely nothing you can do. And yeah. So with Josuke, he's the main character of part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable. And yeah, I feel like Diamond is Unbreakable is my favorite part out of them all, and it has my favorite openings. The opening songs are just amazing. Just amazing. Amazing. And yeah. So moving on to Josuke's stand. Yeah. Go. Oh. Yeah, but now moving on to Josuke's stand. Crazy Diamond. Crazy Diamond has a very unique ability, the ability to heal things. When he breaks stuff, he can just heal them. But he can't heal himself if he gets hurt. And I think that's really cool, just to like balance out the stand's ability. And yeah, it's basically just it's a strong stand, and yeah, very cool. And yeah, so Crazy Diamond and Josuke are very cool characters. And now we'll be moving on to Okuyasu. I think I said his name right. I don't freaking know anymore. So Okuyasu is a very cool character. And yeah, so Okuyasu, he's a very cool character. Not really that smart though. Just like me. So yeah. And he's not very good at making decisions. Just like me. And that's why I like him a lot. Cause yeah. And yeah. And he's like best friends with Josuke and Okuyasu. I think the freaking episode when they went to the one Italian guy stand user's restaurant, and Okuyasu was absolutely just loving it, and he healed his body so well. I thought that was a really cool episode. And now moving on to Okuyasu's stand. Yeah, so now moving on to his freaking stand. The hand is his stand. So the hand is kind of basically the same as Crazy Diamond, but except for healing things. With his hand, he can just delete spaces in front of him, and I think he can put them back too. I don't really know, but yeah, so he can just remove space with his hand and his ability. So yeah, Okuyasu and the hand, they're very cool. Okuyasu is probably one of my favorite characters in part 4. Yeah, so very cool characters. Now moving on to Koichi. Koichi, I don't freaking know. But yeah. So Koichi, he's a very cool character. And he's actually made it to part 5. Same thing with Jotaro. And yeah, so Koichi is a very cool character. He's kind of short, but it's fine. And yeah, so Koichi, he's pretty cool and pretty smart. But yeah, and now moving on to Koichi's stand, which is Echoes. And Echoes has 3 acts so far that I know of. I don't know if he gets any other acts in part 5 maybe, I don't know. But so yeah, so Echoes Act 1 is it's a cool stand, and yeah. And then like it basically has the ability of sounds, and like he can just put sounds on something and it'll just like play. But yeah. So it can basically just put words on things and it'll make the sound or the effect that that thing has, the meaning of the word on it. And yeah. And then now moving on to Echoes Act 2. Echoes Act 2 is basically the same thing as Echoes Act 1, except that it's a little more like mature, but basically it does the same thing, and the dude looks like a freaking Pokemon. And now moving on to Echoes Act 3. Echoes Act 3 is more, it looks more like a human than the last 2 acts. And it has probably it has a new ability, and it's called 3 freeze, and basically whatever he uses 3 freeze on, it'll make it super heavy, just actually like super darn heavy. And yeah, and you can also undo 3 freeze. So yeah, that's Koichi and his stand Echoes with his many acts. And yeah, Koichi and Echoes, they're very, very good characters and stands. Very nice. Okay, so now moving on to Jotaro. I already did Jotaro in part 3, so I'm not gonna really go that much into him. But instead of like his black clothes that he wears, his clothes are now white, and he is no longer in high school now. And also, Star Platinum. Star Platinum now has, it's kind of a little bit lighter shades. Now it's like a light blue and light purple. But yeah, instead of just all dark purple. And now Star Platinum can stop time for only 2 seconds. So it's called Star Platinum the World. And I like Star Platinum the World better than regular Star Platinum. But yeah, so that's about Jotaro and Star Platinum the World. They're very cool. And yeah. Okay, now I will be moving on to older man Joseph. So, older man Joseph. Okay, so that's Grandpa Joseph, and he's very cool. Cool character. And I think he's in like his 70s or 90s, I don't really know. But yeah, so that's Old Man Joseph. Very cool character, cool. And we will now be moving on to Rohan. Yeah, I don't really know how to say his last name. So yeah, I'm just calling him Rohan. So Rohan. He is a very cool character. Probably another one of my favorites of part 4. And Rohan, he's really cool, and he's a manga artist, so he makes mangas. And very cool. And he even has his own anime, which I think I'm gonna watch. Yeah. So, yeah. And I'm moving on to Rohan's stand, Heaven's Door. Heaven's Door can basically turn people into books, and he could read them. And the books are basically a biography about themselves. Yeah. And then he can also write stuff into them. So, like, if he doesn't want them to attack him, then he can just write, "cannot attack Rohan." Yeah. And, yeah, that's basically Rohan and Heaven's Door. So, very cool stand, very cool character. Yeah. Okay, now, last but not least, the main villain of part 4, Kira. Yes, Kira. He is a very cool villain. I think I like him as much as I like Dio. And it's kind of weird how like he likes hands, and he got a little bit of a thing from looking at Mona Lisa's hands. He got a little bit of a boner from that. Yeah. And then he just likes to cut women's hands off and just keep them. And that's very weird, but you know. Okay. And he like turned into a different person in the show. And that was kind of cool. And yeah. But now moving on to Kira's stand, Killer Queen. A very cool and powerful stand. His stand is cool. It's kind of like a purple cat. Yeah. But it can turn things into like bombs. So whenever he touches something with the stand, it's automatically turned into a bomb. And he could just press his thumb against his pointer finger and that thing will explode. And then he has another ability. It's called Sheer Heart Attack. And it's like this mini little tiny tank thing. Basically, it's unbreakable. It's just indestructible. But it's like remote controlled, and it only has a certain amount of abilities that it can do. Yeah. And yeah. And it's controlled by like Kira's left hand. And now moving on to Killer Queen's last ability, when he impaled himself with a Requiem arrow, he got the ability of Bite the Dust, or Bite the Dusto, and it is a very cool ability. So with the ability, when he sets it on someone, it means that, like, whenever that person tells people about Kira, everyone dies at a specific moment, and he gets set back 1 hour before, and that keeps on happening until Kira wins, or until the person does something against Bite Zedusto. And it's very cool. Yeah, so that's basically Kira and Killer Queen. Very, very, very cool villains. Very cool characters and stands. Now that'll conclude part 4. And now moving on to part 5, which is the last part so far until they make part 6, 7, 8, 9, and other ones, I think. I don't know. But, yeah. So part 5, the main character is Giorno Giovanna. And he's a very cool character with a very cool stand. So Giorno, he has a dream. Yeah. And then also in part 5, they do like a little dance called the torture dance. And it's very cool. I actually did it. But I'm not going to show you guys. Because I'm going to get humiliated. And I can barely dance. But yeah. And so Giorno, he's a very cool character. Is the son of Dio. And the son of Jonathan. It's kind of weird. But yeah. He's the son of Dio. And his stand, Golden Experience, is basically the ability to turn anything into something that's involved with nature. So like he can turn like a tin of Pringles into a freaking frog. And yeah. And when he stabs himself with the Requiem arrow, then he gets Golden Experience Requiem. And I don't really know too much about Golden Experience Requiem because I haven't really watched part 5 until he gets to that. But I think it's like where he it's like where he like kills someone, I think, and then they get put in an endless loop of them dying. And yeah, I don't really know too much about it, so don't expect me to know that much. And then yeah, so that's Giorno Giovanna and Golden Experience and Golden Experience Requiem. Very cool characters and stands. Yeah. Okay, now moving on to Bucciarati's crew. I don't really feel like making this video like an hour long, so I'm gonna just do all of Bucciarati's crew in one take. So there's Bucciarati. He is the leader of his crew, and he became a capo when Giorno killed Polpo. And yeah, so Bucciarati, he's cool. His stand, Sticky Fingers, it has like the ability to open zippers and turn people, and can put zippers on people. And it's very cool. Yeah. And moving on to Fugo. So, if you don't know what he looks like, I always think of him like Shaggy, but he turned into an anime. So yeah. Like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. He basically looks like that. And his stand, which is Purple Haze, it's cool. And yeah. Like whenever he punches something with his hands and like his little knuckle things come off and they break, then a virus gets put into the air, and like yeah, the virus gets put into the air, and whoever is within 5 meters gets the virus, and it will kill them in 30 seconds. So yeah, that's Purple Haze. Now moving on to, I don't really know how to say his name, so I'm just call him Narancha or Narancia or something like that. But yeah, him. He is very cool. He's like 17 years old, but he is kind of bad in math, just like me. And yeah. He's cool. And he's a little bit short. And his stand, Lil Bomber, I think that's what his name is. I don't really know, but yeah. So Little Bomber, I'm just calling him that. Is a bro, so freaking Lil Bomber. It's just a plane, but it can shoot out bullets, and it detects things, its enemies, by them breathing. Yeah. So it's very cool. And the way how it lands on his arms like a railway, and it's cool. And that's about it for, yeah. And now moving on to Mista. Mista, he's cool. Cool character. And his stand, which is, Six Pistols. Yeah, so it's like these little things, and they guide his bullets to like his enemies better and stuff. But like he like has to feed them, and he always feeds them meat, like salami or something like that. Yeah, and yeah, they're cool. And number 3 always bullies number 5. But you know, Mista, he doesn't like number 4 because he thinks number 4 is bad luck, which it might be. Yeah. And then that's about it for Mista and Six Pistols. Now moving on to like the one guy. His name starts with like an A. Yeah, editing David, you get this in. You get a picture of him and put his name in, correct me, and yell at me because you like doing that. But yeah, him, he's cool and he's very serious about what he does. And his stand is I think it's called Moody Jazz. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so no, Moody Blues. Yes, Moody Blues. Yeah. So Moody Blues, it can basically turn into people. And it can also turn into people and then go back a certain amount of time and repeat everything that they just did. So yeah, that's his stand. And now moving on to who else is there? Well, now moving on to Trish. I haven't really seen Trish stand, but Trish is the boss's daughter. And yeah, so the boss's daughter, and she has a stand. I don't really know what the stand is yet, but she has a stand. And I don't really know who the boss is yet. I think it's Diablo, maybe. I don't know. But freaking, yeah. So that's about that for part 5, and also Koichi is in part 5, which is basically the same thing as part 4. And Jotaro is also in part 5, and he's like a marine biologist, and he loves dolphins. But yeah, so that's about it for part 5. Okay, now moving on to the bonus ones, which is like Steel Ball Run. And there's other mangas, but I really like Steel Ball Run, and I really want to buy it, and I haven't really bought it yet, and I really want it. And I don't really know that much about the characters beside Diego, and Diego's probably one of my favorite ones in it. And Diego, he's like basically in the he's in the Brando family. So Diego Brando, he's cool, and he's like a competitor in the Steel Ball Run race. He's a professional jockey, which means he rides horses for a living. And his stand, Scary Monsters, it's basically a dinosaur. So he can turn himself into a dinosaur, specifically Utahraptor. And he also learned how to control his ability, so he can like turn his body parts into a dinosaur. He can turn himself into a dinosaur whenever he wants. That's very cool. And now part 6, which is the main character is Jolene Cujo, but not spelled with a K, with a C, so Cujo. Yeah, and it's Jotaro's daughter, and she has a stand, I'm so dumb I forget what her stand's name is, but it's fine. So yeah, I'm kind of excited for part 6. It comes out this year, I think. And then the other ones, I'm not really gonna get into them that much. So yeah. Everyone, thank you so much for watching through this long video. I don't really know how long it is right now. It's probably gonna be super long, but thank you so much. If you're still at the end, then comment pineapple if you are. And also your favorite stand and character. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you on the next... Wait, hold up. Hold up. I haven't really rated JoJo's Bizarre Adventure out of 5 yet. So I'm gonna rate it for like 4.5 out of 5. Because it's basically the only anime I've ever watched. But I really like it. I really, really, really freaking like it. So that's about it from me. Have a nice day, stay safe, and goodbye, everyone.